Well, apparently we've got it all wrong, at least I do, when it comes to salt. We have always been told that consuming too much salt is not good for our health. But our next guest says that that's not the problem. It's not salt, it's the source of where it comes from. So Nisha Saxena is a registered dietitian. She's with us to tell us more. Nisha.
Yes.
Listen, I don't allow salted butter in my house. I don't put it on the table because I thought there was already too much salt in our food.
Well, you're absolutely right. There is too much salt in the food most people are eating, but that's because it's coming from processed food. In fact, ultra-processed food makes up about 75 to 80% of the salt you're consuming. But the difference is it's those foods that contain a lot of other things, right? Unhealthy fats, processed fats, industrial compounds, maybe extra sugars. And when you add that plus salt, that's really the issue. The food matrix that you're getting your salt from, that's what we want to change.
Okay, bring on all the salted butter. My daughter will be thrilled. You say that actually not getting enough salt in our diets could be doing more harm than good.
Oh, absolutely. So there is lots of a growing body and lots of research showing that when you're getting less than about 3,000 milligrams a day, that can actually increase your risk of heart disease and some other really unfortunate situations. So having too little salt can be a health risk, and it's in fact more risky than having excess sodium in your diet.
So demystify something else for us, because I always use salt and sodium interchangeably, and that is not correct.
That is not correct. So salt is a cooking ingredient. It's about 40% sodium and 60% chloride. Sodium is a mineral, just like you hear about, magnesium or potassium. We need these things directly in our body from food to help our body. We need sodium. It is an essential mineral, helps with our nervous system, helps with our hydration, helps with our heart function.
Every once in a while on social media, certain words or food words will come on trend. So there was the rosemary hair oil. Now it's salt or sodium. And salt has this trend where people pair it with honey to make a pre-workout mixture. I want to show everybody what we're talking about, and then you can tell us what's true and what's not from this.
I've never done this before, and I don't take any other pre-workout, so I'll be able to tell if it makes a difference or not. I don't think I used enough salt. Well, one, that's delicious.
Okay, so honey and salt for a pre-workout mixture. What's supposed to be the point, and what's it actually doing?
Well, what he's really talking about is getting hydrated and having a little glucose in your bloodstream, depending on the style of workout that you're going to do.
Okay.
So I don't think this is harmful. Do I think most people need to do it? No, absolutely not. Do I think it's really going to help his workout in those amounts? Probably not.
Okay.
So it's just sort of like a bit of a silly trend. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Okay. There's a lot of different kinds of salt. We know. Oh, sorry, you wanted to add something?
No, I was just going to say, and on that trend, there's a lot of these powders that you're going to see on social media that people are adding to their drinks, mixes, really special blends of electrolytes. And we don't really need that either. You can even make a homemade hydration mix with sodium, magnesium, and potassium. So you don't need to purchase lots of these other, different electrolyte mixes with all kinds of additives in them either.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different kinds of salt. There's sea salt, Himalayan salt, for example. What is the best kind to consume?
It's a great question. It really comes down to personal preference. So different salts, there is a slight difference between sea salt versus something that's a manufactured salt. It might have slightly less sodium per gram. Also, when the granules are big, you're going to get a little bit less sodium per serving. Iodized table salt, though, is a great fortified source of iodine, which a lot of us need an extra source of because we're not consuming iodine. So it really is a personal preference, but the best thing I would look for is removing that processed salt from all of your ultra-processed food, less of that, and more of sodium, the mineral.
So you're blowing my mind, because I was taught that table salt is like white sugar. It's bad for you, don't use it at all.
I was absolutely taught the same thing. And what we're learning is science changes over time, right? And when we know better, we do better. And so iodized table salt is something you can definitely use. Of course, you can use any variety of salt you like. If you have health issues related to blood pressure, you could definitely check with your doctor first if you're concerned.
My kids are going to be thrilled. Now we can have salted butter and salt on the table. Nisha, thank you. Still ahead on your...
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.